millions into the campaign coffers of Democratic judicial nominees, including the brother of one of the state's most powerful labor leaders. Voters will elect 3 new judges to the 7-member court this November of the Supreme Court. And Democrats are spending big money on the races, raising more than $7 million for its 3 favored jurists. Unions alone have raised nearly $3 million for these candidates, topping the $1.9 million haul for Republican candidates. Let me tell you, they're out in full. Because look, in Pennsylvania, man, they are routing liberals at the local and county level all over the state. And liberals know that they can't win. So if they're not winning, they figure, well, they know that the other way that they can get their agenda through is through the courts. Well, if you have a Supreme Court that is loaded up with conservatives, well, that stops their agenda cold. But if you get in a bunch of liberals who are more than happy to legislate from the bench instead of interpret, oh yeah, that's what they want. They'll be more than happy to try to go out and get there. Now, unions are the ones, nearly $3 million. I love how the story puts that they raise. Their unions don't raise a damn thing. They take it from their members in the form of union dues. The other thing that people are really upset with unions about, because they don't want to have to join a union all the time, these closed union shops, as they're called. These people run around, they force, if you want to work here, sure, you got 30 days or 60 days or 90 days of freedom. And then you have to join the union and start paying those dues, buddy. Give us your money. Now, Megan Sweeney, a GOP state party spokeswoman, said that the massive donate. Let me read that again. Megan Sweeney, a GOP party statesman, said that the massive donations demonstrates that the unions and their allies are attempting to buy the election. Something that liberals often accuse Republicans of doing, because Republicans get large sums of money from big donors too. That's not fair. That's not right. That's Citizens United. This is unlimited. It's got to stop. Got to stop. Got to stop. The liberal special interest groups are desperately trying to buy the Supreme Court. She said in a release, by pouring millions of dollars into this Supreme Court race, these extreme liberal interest groups are trying to ensure that our highest court is filled with activist judges who will legislate from the bench. Just said. Now, the state Democratic Party did not respond to a request for comment. Of course he's not going to respond, because he already knows the answer. Yeah. He can't come out and say, yeah, it's true. So what? Bad, we outraised you. Yep, we got unions on our side. Unions are in our back pocket. Yep, big deal. Bad, so sad for you. No, well, hey, folks, look, the liberals have always been against things like Citizens United. Things that give people more freedom in how they express themselves through the electoral process. Because what liberals want is anything but liberty. They want less of it. And they go about showing us this just about every single day. It's amazing to me how we have, look, liberals want to, they think, we should be helping everybody in the world. And then when you point to people here that need their help, well, they want to turn their nose up at them, unless it's expedient and it's it's going to make them look good. We can raise money. I love what liberals do the most, though. We should talk about it. We need to have a dialogue. All they are is talk. Talk, 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 talk. We have a homeless problem. Oh, we've talked about it. Well, okay, so what have you decided? What solutions have you come up with? And you'll hear liberals say, well, a lot of them say, well, we need to continue the dialogue in order to find real solutions. Well, you've already had a dialogue. And if you didn't find any real solutions with your last dialogue, why did you stop dialoguing? Why do we got to restart the dialogue in order for you to get something done? Their little secret is that they're not really interested in getting anything done. They're interested in making it look like they care and look like they're trying to do something. This is such a tough problem, man. We just can't. Nobody can solve. If we can't solve it, nobody can solve it. We got to talk about this more. There is an answer there, but we just, to this problem. But we really got to have a serious dialogue about it. So all the talking that we've had before wasn't serious. Not if you're listening to a run-of-the-mill liberal. No, they're going to say, well, all that other conversation, it wasn't serious. So now we're going to have a serious conversation about whatever the issue is. Well, we need to. So when we have that, what are your hopes for that? The outcome of having those serious dialogues? And then that's when a lot of liberals go blank. Well, what do you mean? Well, we want to wipe out homelessness. Yeah, but how? You wipe it out. How? Government programs. They haven't worked so far. We need more money. We spent trillions of dollars on it. It hasn't helped. Well, it's because, they haven't been spending it right. Been doing the same thing over and over for the past 40, 50, 60 years. Well, we just have to, that's why we need to have more discussion about it. That's why we got to talk about it more. So in other words, you want to talk the subject to death and not really do anything. Because you don't have an answer. Because whatever answer that you come up with, Mr. Liberal, it's not going to work because you've already done that answer before and it was a miserable failure. Now, the biggest beneficiary of union contributors is Kevin Doherty, brother of John Doherty, the newly minted head of Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, collection of about 40 labor groups. Now, Judge Doherty, who served as a Philadelphia trial court judge, has received $1.3 million from labor unions, representing half of its overall donations. His campaign website touts the fact that he's been endorsed by 11 state and local unions. Half of what they've raised is going to this one judicial candidate. Why is that? He has gotten from the unions almost the equivalent of what the Republicans have gotten in toto. And it's not because liberals have more money. God knows that they don't. Union shop, well, finding that there's some of their... And even for those people who... just think about this for a second. Conservative construction. And you have to join the union. So you join the union and you pay your dues, you pay your dues. Dues are going to be used for good. And then you find out that a part of your dues is being transmitted. Because there's no limit to what those unions really can do with the money that they collect. And of course, if you ever talk to the union bosses, or a hefty sum off of your labor. So everybody over there in Pennsylvania, you need to understand what's happening and step up. And hopefully go to the polls and keep this from becoming a reality. The liberals have a fantasy, and their fantasy is that they're going to have all these wonderful judges in their back pocket legislating from the bench that's in favor of them. Need to get out there and vote. Make sure that you vote for it, not for these liberal nut jobs, because they will bleed you dry. House Republicans renege on just about every promise with this current supposed budget deal. It's awful, folks. This budget deal is screwing the American people yet again. Once again, because Boehner is really showing his true colors. He has no interest in doing what's really hasn't in a long time. And lo and behold, people are wondering, well, reported earlier today, accepting of the deal. A deal that puts tons more debt on each and every citizen in this country. Now, make no mistake about it, the illegal aliens, they're not going to feel the debt, because if things get too bad here, they just go home. They've done that before. They've just gone home. You know, laws and such that were enacted. Add things, certain immigration reform. Really, when in some municipalities, they've cut off cut them off. You know, liberals can't run around and illegals just in some communities. You know, what was it? Hazleton, Pennsylvania, where there was a city ordinance that forbade landlords from renting to illegal aliens, that they had to go through some sort of process to prove that you were either here legal citizen. And illegals fled that Pennsylvania city. And I do remember at the time, I don't remember the mayor's name, but I do remember at the time the mayor saying, well, this is exactly what it was designed to do, because liberals are, man, they're all leaving. He goes, yep, that's what this ordinance was designed to do. Get rid of the illegals. Keep the legals, keep our, because the illegals were putting upward pressure on housing prices. They were taking away the supply, making this, the supply and the demand couldn't meet the demand. And obviously, when you have things that supply and demand type of economics, value goes up, price goes up, fewer and fewer people prices. And it was moving out and locking out a lot of good, hardworking people. Do remember this mayor saying enough is enough. We're not going to do this anymore. When that law was enacted, the wonderful illegals left because they knew they were going to get caught if they stayed. Not that if they actually got caught, they get deported, because after all, we have all these amnesty cities and everything, and we have where ICE doesn't come and get detainees, and they get released back onto the street, and, they disappear. They keep telling us, well, we can't keep track of all these people. Well, it's because you let them go all the time. When you catch one, you deport him. You don't let him go. And then say, well, we know he'll be back in court. That ain't going to happen. What's wrong with you people? Oh, but they probably want judges to start ruling on the fact, Pennsylvania, that you can't have laws like that in Hazleton or anywhere else. You're just going to have to buck up, bend over, pick it up the you-know-what, while your government is demanding that you enjoy it. That's the way they roll over on the liberal side.